Good morning, and you find me down the allotment again. As I said in the last video, one of the next jobs is going to be to put the sweet peas in. So we've got the sweet peas here. The ground has already really been prepared. As you can see, there's some horse manure been put on. So the ground is pretty much ready. Before I put the sweet peas in, I'm just going to put on some of this Vitax Q4 as well. Let's give them an extra little boost. So what I'll do, I'll just do one row and then you'll get the idea. So I'll just get the hoe and hoe that in. Okay, so I've got the hoe. Just going to hoe that in. Again, we still haven't had any rain here for a few weeks now, so the ground is quite dry. So these sweet peas are going to have to be well watered in. One of the reasons I'm planting the sweet peas is we've had them in the polytunnel, and the high temperatures we've had over the last few days have been taking their toll on the sweet peas. So I really need to get them into the ground. Although they're in root trainers, they have been drying out in the polytunnel. Okay. What I'll just grab the camera and show you the root systems that we get using these root trainers. Okay, so these are the first sweet peas, and you can see that the roots are quite good on these, and that's what you need with sweet peas. You need to get them grown away well with strong roots, in particular this time of year when you plant them out. Try not to disturb the roots from the root train formed in the root trainer, and just backfill. These are the main sweet peas. There'll be a few canes which won't have any sweet peas on them, but those we can start some later ones. The later sweet peas don't tend to give us such a good show in terms of blooms, so we only do a few of those. We've got a few different varieties. This one's Roma that I've just put in. If you've got any canes short, then we will put some more sweet peas in to start. The late sweet peas don't do as well as these early ones. In fact, some people would say that these sweet peas are a bit late, but we find it's worked for us the last few years. So I would expect to be picking sweet pea blooms next month. Can't believe how dry this soil is, although we have been watering this in preparation for putting these in. So there is some dampness in the soil at the bottom of the trowel, but not at the top. Okay, so that completes the first row. I should have enough sweet peas to do the second row, looking at how they've come. So give these a water and then I'll do the second row. So just to recap, I've put 2 sweet pea plants on every cane. For some it's just 1 cell. Where we've had a miss, we've had to put a couple of cells in. We've got a mixture of varieties going in as well. So when they've come up and they start to bloom, I'll go through the varieties. Okay, I'll stop that there and then start again when we move on to the next thing. Okay, we're just about to plant out the peas. So this is what we put in place. So we've got 4 canes and we've got this net. We've had to double the net up because the bed we put it in is shorter than what we normally use. And down here are the peas we're going to put in. So again, this bed was prepared over winter, and all we've got to do now is put the peas in. So we've grown these peas in cells, and I'll just come down and look at the peas in a bit more detail. So they're grown in cells. As you can see, there's 2 peas in that one. We put 3-4 peas in each cell. So we'll just push these out along the netting. So the first thing I'll do is place them all out, and then we'll just put them in, and that will be the peas sorted. Okay, these are pleasing to see the roots on these. So it's just a case of spacing them out. These will be our first peas for the year, and then we've already started another lot of peas which will be our main peas. This variety is Juice Provenance, and our main crop peas that we grow are a variety called Terrain. We've grown Terrain for quite a few years now, and we can plant those a little bit later because they're resistant to mildew, which you tend to get with a later crop of peas. So again, you can see this bed's covered in spent hops. That's kept the weeds down. We've done nothing else on this bed to keep the weeds down. It's just been covered. It was covered with spent hops at the end of the autumn, having been cleared. It was previously used for potatoes last year, and we had a good crop of potatoes. I dare say some potatoes will break through in the next few weeks as well. And the other thing, although I've been saying about if I come down this end, although I've been saying about the ground being dry, if I just dig into here, and there's a little potato, if I just dig into here, you can actually see that's quite wet, quite damp. The spent hops, that's another good advantage of using those. They keep the ground quite well covered, prevents the weeds getting in, prevents the moisture from evaporating out as well. However, the moisture just soak in. through the cement top, so you get the best of both worlds. What we will do is put some other netting over the top of these to protect them from the pigeons. Well, I think my wife's just gone through the shot. You'll see her perhaps getting that netting. Again, these had been in the polytunnel, so they were starting to struggle in the polytunnel with the warm weather we've been having. So it was time to get them out. Okay, so these can have a good water. So although the ground was damp, when you transplant anything, it needs to have a good water, and that makes sure that the soil clings together around the roots of the new plant that you've put in. Okay, so that's the peas put in. Like I say, we'll put another net over the top of these, attach it to the canes at the top, just protect them from the pigeons. Okay, so that's a relatively short video today, just showing you the sweet peas and the peas going in. I've got a couple more jobs to do today. We've got the other onions to plant out, which you saw in the other video, and we'll probably put a few gladioli and possibly some dahlias in. Well, need to get on with the work now. See you again soon.